Assalamu alaikum, dear brothers, sisters, listeners. Welcome to the 14th episode of our podcast series on the Baqee Cemetery and the Rebuild Baqee Campaign. Today, we will discuss the significance of remembering our heroes and history and draw inspiration from successful nations around the world. Let us also consider the importance of unity and transcending sectarian differences and working together for the sake of humanity. As we have seen throughout history, successful nations honor their heroes and preserve their cultural heritage. This, rev- this reverence for the past not only serves as a reminder of the sacrifices made by those who had come before us, but also strengthens the foundation upon which we build our future. The United States, for example, has monuments dedicated to its founding fathers, leaders, and other heroes. They recognize the importance of remembering our history and celebrating the achievements and contributions of those who have shaped the nation. And the nation over here, for example, I'm talking about the United States. And the same is true for England and other countries who've had rich cultural heritage in past. Similarly, in our quest to rebuild the Baqee Cemetery, we're not only seeking to restore the historic site, but are also honoring the memory of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his companions, and the revered scholars who are buried in Baqi, but above all, the source of the creation of the universe, the four Imams from the Ahlul Bayt AS. This act of reverence and respect transcends sectarian differences and unites us all for one Muslim community. Let me just elaborate on this fact and this aspect. I'm talking very much right now from a worldly perspective. I am talking from a perspective of those nations who have been successful and what they do. And I'm going to link it to the Muslims who have to do things which have been time tested. And one of them is to pay respect to the history, pay respect to the heroes who have laid the foundation of the history in the community. And yes, there may be some who believe that the progeny of the Prophet is exclusive to Shias, or that broken graves are not a matter that is pressing at this time. But I ask you, my fellow Muslims, to look beyond that these divisions and come together for the greater good of humanity. You might remember President Obama. He once said, there is not a liberal America or a conservative America. There is just one United States of America. And similarly, there is no Black America or White America or Latino America. Rather, there's only one United States of America. So that concept applies exactly on the Muslims, and we have to adopt it. Honestly, there is only one Islam, and that is the true Islam that came from the Prophet. That is the Islam that was taught by the Prophet to his progeny. And so, if anyone who respects the Prophet, they should respect the progeny. If anyone who respects the progeny, they should stand up for the sanctity of the Ahlul Bayt salam. Whether they are Shia or Sunni, doesn't matter. They are all Muslims who follow the same Quran, the same Prophet, the same lovers of the same progeny. Therefore, we are all part of the same Ummah, and it is our collective responsibility to honor and preserve our heritage. In the Holy Quran, Allah has said, and hold firmly to the rope of Allah all together and do not become divided. In Surah Al Imran, verse 103. We must heed these divine words and come together in unity, setting aside our differences for the noble cause of preserving and restoring the Baqee Cemetery. Therefore, my dear listeners, let us be inspired by the successful nations of the world who understand the importance of remembering these heroes and their history. Let us join together as one united Muslim community working towards the restoration of the Baqee Cemetery, not just for ourselves, but for the generations to come, for the generations that don't know about our history, our children, so that they are connected to the history. Thank you for joining us on this episode of our podcast series. We hope that you will continue to support this campaign by sharing our message with your friends and family and community members. Together, we can make a difference and preserve our rich Islamic heritage. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.